What's up, agents, and welcome back to another Division video. Yes, you read the title right, and because you read the title, you're probably not even tuned in, but if you have, yes, this is just another Strikers build, but with a few amendments for TU20. So if you're still here, don't forget to like, share, comment, subscribe, and maybe consider joining the channel. With all that said, let's get straight into it. Right, so I'm just on my Strikers build that I have just slightly amended for TU20. We are running the Ouroboros. I've also got the Shield Splinter with me as well. We'll probably flick between both of them and check them out. So first of all, we will... we're going to we'll bob into the open world actually, and we'll do, because that's really what I would do, right? Because this whole section around here is great for XP farming. Convoys are not really the go-to anymore. This area is just top tier, absolutely top tier. So we'll spin round, and yeah, we'll give this a go, and we'll see how we get on.
Backup request.
Now don't forget, in true content creator fashion, I am maxed out. I can hear him. There he is. Just couldn't see him.
Incoming hostiles detected.
Stacked. Absolutely stacked, like a hero. Hi. Yeah, I mean, that was relatively easy, painless. Wasn't really worried about having to use my reviver hive at any point. Got ourselves a nice bit of XP for our trouble. So let's just head into this next area. There'll be another event right next door. Not sure we can get through that way. Oh yeah, we can do. Okay, we'll do this. So I'm not as familiar with this area, this one. Oh, I am actually. We're coming from the other. I usually come in from that door over there.
Watch your back.
Detecting additional hostile contacts.
I'll bow for King Tickle. Thank you very much. Thank you. And yeah, it demands the respect you absolutely, you think it would do. It's a Strikers build. It's super powerful, and yeah, all we've done is really add in a little bit of survivability. If you want to check out kind of one where you get bonus armor and things like that, check out my TU20, what I think is kind of the best all-round build video that I've also posted. I'll probably link it down below in the description as well. But this is, we'll just run this very first section here, just to show, hunters stacks are all well and good, but good old Strikers really does put in the work. And this build's not really about having too much survivability. There is some built in, which is why this works really, really nice. This is about, power. What's crazy is I could probably have better success with the chatterbox over the Ouroboros, but I mean, it's just easy, right? Absolutely, really, really easy. I did say I would run a section with the Shield Splinterer, so a quick content creator ninja pause in the video there, so you don't see the build too easy, and it forces you to watch even more if you've not already just fast forwarded. And we've got our Shield Splinterer equipped. We're going to go down the lift. Hopefully you guys will like, share, comment and subscribing, and we'll just do this section with the Shield Splinter, and then I'm going to show the build off altogether. All right, so here we go.
know that bitch hiding from us was at Roosevelt Island.
These guys are swearing they're gonna get me demonetized.
Stayed on.
2 bad guys. 3 bad guys. Ooh, that hurt a little bit. My gamer awareness wasn't tingling. Thank you, kind sir, for all the stats. I want to get a bit close to that door. Whoa.
Vital signs critical.
Sir? Excuse me, sir? Please stop trying to outgame my game. I mean, it puts in the work, right? I feel really, really powerful. It really puts in the work. Right, let's go through the build. We'll just stay here because it's pretty and homely. So, here we go. Right, so we're doing the firewall specialization. The reason we're running the firewall specialization is twofold. 1, we get 30% health on kill. 2, we get the firewall shield. Yes, we're being big girls. We are using the striker shield. It gives us more damage when enemies in front of us are within our little cone that we get. You want to basically mod it up with as much active regeneration as you possibly can and damage bonus. And yeah, it's an absolute win-win. Ouroboros or Shield Splinter are definitely going to be the go-to for this. They work really, really nice. And then this is the build. If we go into the stat page for the Ouroboros, I'm at 59% and 151. If you flip over to the Shield Splinter, you are going to drop a significant amount of crit chance, which is not ideal. But if you go into your mods, crit chance it up as much as you possibly can. And for a secondary weapon, you're not going to be able to please both here because the Ouroboros comes with a huge amount of critical hit chance on the bottom. And Shield Splinter comes with health and damage target out of cover. You could always build it around the Shield Splinter and not, you know, have perhaps a Scorpio as a secondary or something like that. I wanted to build it around the Ouroboros. The idea with this was I wanted to be as much of a beast as I possibly can be because, you know, I'm a beast in the games, just not in the bedroom. So, right, let's just go on to the pieces here. So we've got strikers, right? You've never seen strikers before, but 4-piece strikers gives us 15% weapon handling, 15% rate of fire, and we get Striker's Gamble. Striker's Gamble is where all of Striker's damage comes from, and we're going to run the backpack because that gives us increased damage, and we'll get to that in just a second. No point reading this out just yet. Weapon damage, crit damage, crit damage. Then with the holster, we've got weapon damage, critical hit chance, because like any all red build, you're going to build to 60% crit chance and then throw everything else into critical hit damage. In the knees, we've got weapon damage and critical hit damage. And then the backpack, we'll take a little bit more time to look at these pieces. You can see here, Striker's Gamble, weapon hits increase total weapon damage by 1%, because as you see here, we get the risk management talent. And it stacks up to 100 times. 1 stack is lost per second between 0 and a 50, and 2 stacks between 50 and 100. On the backpack, we're on weapon damage, crit damage, and it's an absolute beast. Now, you might be saying, Tickle, why not run the Striker's chest piece for even more damage? And that is fair to say that the Striker's chest piece would do more damage, because basically it takes that Striker's Gamble buff and it takes it from 100 stacks all the way up to 200 stacks. But you saw how quick we were killing things. Getting the chest piece up to 200 stacks in a heroic mission is just not viable. Now, you could switch it in for a legendary mission, right? Legendary mission, you could absolutely switch it in and then basically put a PS piece in either the head, the holster, or the knees, and that would be absolutely fine and dandy as well. So depending on what you're going to be running this for, really depends if you're going to put the Striker's chest piece on. If you're going to run this perhaps in the incursion, then you by all means slip in the striker's chest piece and put on a PS piece in one of the other slots, and that would work absolutely fine. Just a quick modification, but you're all good. This thing's an absolute unicorn. So 2-piece of the Palisade gives us health on kill and armor on kill and 60% health. Now the reason that this is important, and usually I would say, you know, I'd be like, Tickle, I would run this Bellstorm piece, right, with obliterate, armor regen, and then armor on kill, right? So what I'm getting here, instead of getting the 1% armor regen and the armor on kill from Bellstorm, I'm getting 10% armor on kill just for 1 piece, which is the same, but I'm getting a huge chunk of extra survivability in the health rather than the armor regen. And that's up to you which way around you run this. You could run either or of these sets. If you want to run things that are shiny and new, the Palisade's going to be the way to go. If you don't, then you could go with good old Bellstorm and get the 1% armor regen instead. And we'll look at these pieces really quickly and then I'll show to you what I mean why the Palisade's pretty good. We got weapon damage, crit chance, crit damage in the mod slot with obliterate. And then with the gloves, weapon damage, crit chance, crit damage, as you fully expected. Now don't worry if you can't get the gloves, you could run striker's gloves here and then perhaps a PS mask or a PS holster. You can swap out whatever you need. It's only really the chest with obliterate, the hardest piece to get unfortunately, that you need to kind of keep the same. If we flip over to the stats and we go down to our survivability, you see what I mean here now, right? So our max health is 561k, but we get 168k health on kill. So we don't get as much health on kill, obviously, as you do if you're running Hunter's Fury, but it's a significant chunk, and this has been bumped up massively by that 60% health boost that we get there, which is just really, really nice. And if you go in all red build, you're just adding to your survivability there. We've got, you know, basically we've got kind of over 1 mil here on the survivability, and that just makes it really, really nice considering that this is an all red build. And the survivability is pretty good as well because we're getting the armor on kill, you know, at the same time, you know, which is cool, right? Which is cool. You could switch this out to Gunner and get 10% armor on kill extra as well. That would be totally viable if you prefer running Gunner, but I like the firewall shield. It just makes for more damage. And if you run a gun, not this one because it doesn't work with the shield splinterer, but if you ran perhaps the FAMAS, you could, nope, not the FAMAS. If you ran perhaps, which gun does it go on? Something like the RPK, you can use the 10% critical hit damage mod, the short grip that gives you extra. Usually you can't get 10, you can only get 5, so you can get yourself some extra damage there. So depending on what gun you're running, if you're not running, you know, Chatterbox or a Boris, you might be able to buff up your critical hit damage even more with said gun. Reviver Hive for my extra life. We'll flip back to Shield Splinterer. So, but that's the build. There are the stats: 59% crit chance and 151% critical hit damage, 70% headshot damage. It just works really, really nice. And this is just going to be my updated striker build for now. That's going to be it for the video. If you're still here, please do consider like, share, comment, subscribing, and maybe joining the channel. If you need a community Discord where people love the Division and are all friendly agents, maybe you need a bit of help with something, check my link in the description down below. I'll see you in the next one, agents. Goodbye.